Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of In the Huddle here on this Monday. It is episode 98, and we are here today to talk some sports with you. I'm Zac Krull, along with my guy, Real Leel, and we have a big-time show for you guys today. We have so many things to discuss. We're going to be talking some football, we're going to be talking some basketball, and many other things in between. But before I start off today, I want to introduce my co-host, the Real Leel. How are we doing today, my guy?
Listen, I am doing good. I cannot complain at all. All right, last week I was a little bit sick. I forced to get on the air, and I wasn't 100%. I ain't like my performance, but I'm damn sure back, and I am ready. It's been a lot of things that happened over the last couple of weeks. This week, maybe not so much. Not a lot of news, but we got to be creative, and we got to continue to put that content out for our listeners to enjoy, and that's exactly what we're going to do in right about now.
Absolutely, man. So there is, as you said, not many new news in the cycle over the last couple of days, but there is one topic that we discussed last week that we wanted to discuss a little more. We wanted to expand our thoughts a little more, and that is this whole Aaron Rodgers situation. And I'm going to start it off because, Will, I'm going to say this, man. I think that for people like you and I who've been watching Aaron Rodgers throughout his whole career, we've never met the guy. We have no idea who he really is. We've never even been in the same room as him. But at the same time, I think we're both pretty sure that given Aaron Rodgers' track record, he's kind of a difficult guy to work with. And that doesn't mean he's not one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. He is so talented. He played phenomenal football all of last year. But at the same time, I think that when you look at Aaron Rodgers and this whole Green Bay Packers situation, this is a guy who I don't necessarily know if there's pressure, but that is a guy that won many playoff games. And Lil, the more and more I thought about this over the weekend, I kind of had a light bulb moment to me. And it's that Aaron Rodgers, he is making this whole fiasco like, oh, the Packers drafted Jordan Love, and I'm so upset about that. And look, he is rightfully so to be upset about that. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But at the same time, if he is so upset about that, then basically what he's saying is, he's so upset that he didn't have another weapon, that, the Packers, he could have used more help. But at the same time, I don't understand why, if this whole situation was just much ado about nothing, then why didn't Aaron Rodgers come out and say that? And given everything that's been going on with him and the GM, this is a dicey situation in the making. Now, if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I don't necessarily know if there's going to be a deal that comes to mind that makes me say, okay, this is definitely worth trading the MVP for. So if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm doing everything I can to work this out, even if it means firing the GM, Brian Gutekunst, who, let's face facts, it seems like Aaron Rodgers and him, they don't really like each other. So if it's Aaron or the GM, I'd fire the GM. But at the same time, I think Aaron Rodgers, he's kind of given off that history that he's shown many times before.
Zach, I'm glad that the light bulb went off in your head, because sometimes we all need that reality check to come in the mail. We all do. Sometimes we go on the show and we have opinions, especially when stuff is brand new. We don't let it marinate. We don't let it digest, and we have an opinion. And sometimes after the show's over, we sit back and say, I was really chatting. There's times where I had said that to my own damn self. So I'm not throwing shots at you, Zach. There was a couple times when I sat down and I was like, I'm chatting. But last week wasn't one of them. And I'm glad that you joined the train with me with this Aaron Rodgers situation, because I feel like Aaron Rodgers needs to suck it up and let it go. And I said that last week, because in that situation where Aaron Rodgers last year was sitting on his couch watching the draft, the Packers, they did what they felt was best. They said, you know what, Jordan Love is falling, and we can move up and trade and draft him, because who's to say Aaron Rodgers would have had that MVP year that he ended up having? We didn't know that. It looked like he was declining. He didn't look the same. He looked like a shell of himself. So why not get a quarterback, stash him for the next couple of years to be Aaron Rodgers' successor? Drafting Jordan Love, everybody assumed that trading, yeah, you traded up, but everybody assumed that because they did that, he was going to start week one. That's a bunch of malarkey. The reason why they traded up to draft Jordan Love was partly because, Aaron Rodgers showed, he wasn't spectacular that year, but they wanted to stash him for the next couple of years, like they did with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Until the wheels come off, then we moving on. We already got a backup plan. He's stashed. He's ready to go when that time comes. So I think in this case, a lot of people don't seem to talk about this, Zach, in this specific point. I done heard 1,000 radio shows talk about this Aaron Rodgers situation. What about the middleman here? What about Jordan Love? How is he supposed to feel when he didn't ask to be drafted into this situation? He wanted to play football. He's a baller. That's where he was in college. He didn't ask to be in the middle of a daggone disagreement involving him before he even touches the football field. And now you have a situation where you got a MVP quarterback that just won the MVP, still a great quarterback, one of the best in the league, and he wants out because of you. And the organization doesn't even believe in you enough for you to dress. So what does that do, for Jordan Love's confidence? And I see nobody talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I think I hinted at this last week, is that, look, I am on the same page as you when you said if the Packers really believe that Jordan Love, if they, saw Jordan Love at the Senior Bowl and they were just like, all right, like this guy could be our franchise quarterback. Once again, I had no problem with them doing that. The only thing is they had to understand that when they made that pick, they had to understand the possible risks and consequences that could go along with that. And you're right. Like Jordan Love, he didn't ask to be in the situation whatsoever. But the problem is, when was the last time we've seen a quarterback drafted in the first round and then after a year, like not only do we not know anything about Jordan Love, we haven't even seen him throw. Like this dude didn't dress last year. When was the last time we've seen that with a quarterback who hasn't been injured? We've seen plenty of quarterbacks in recent years back up as a rookie. But when was the last time we've seen a quarterback drafted in the first round, not dress, not injury related for a full season?
I would say this, Zach. And that's a fair point to bring up. Your superstition there, there's no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. But at the same time, we wasn't in a normal situation here. When we talk about OTAs, mini camps, training camps, normally things that get quarterbacks, rookies up to date, up to speed. They need those extra reps. And I feel like because of that, maybe, they saw a little something and he wasn't there yet. He was like, all right, this is a project that has potential. And I'm pretty sure they believe that Jordan Love has potential, but it is a process that was affected due to the COVID pandemic and how everything changed in the NFL. So I don't think you're looking at it from that perspective and how that can impact the growth in a timely manner.
Absolutely, but at the same time, and I understand Jordan Love, like, I'm not trying to throw him, like, under the bus. I'm not saying this is a problem. Like, I still think he could be a good player. Once again, both you and I, we don't know anything about this guy as an NFL football player. We have not seen this guy even dress for a game. But at the same time, Lil, if you're the Packers, right, and I understand you're in some hot water with Aaron Rodgers, you have to realize that at this point, as stubborn as they could be, they have to realize that, okay, like, this is kind of like, it's time to admit that we kind of made a mistake drafting Jordan Love. Like, no offense, but this guy can't even make it on the field. So if I'm the Packers and you see what Aaron Rodgers did for you last year and the season he had, when Jordan Love still has value, if I'm Green Bay right now, I'm trying to do exactly what New England did with Jimmy G, making Tom Brady happy. I'm doing that exactly with Jordan Love because it makes sense for both sides. And if you're the Packers, I think it's time to admit you messed up.
Well, I don't think that's a bad point. Maybe they should do what Jimmy G, that whole situation with Jimmy G and Tom Brady, to make Aaron Rodgers feel more comfortable and feel like, he has some, how can I say it? He has some transparency.
Right. Because here's the question. Do you think that this whole Aaron Rodgers fiasco is fixable? Do you think that if the Packers trade Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers is going to say, okay, like, I'm all set, I'll be ready to go? Or do you think the relationship is so broken right now that even if they trade Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers is going to say, you know what, I hate the GM and the team so much that I'm just going to retire and host Jeopardy? Because I think that is the question that we all are waiting for.
And that's a dicey question because You alluded to it when you started off your statement that Aaron Rodgers is not the most easiest guy to be around. Like, he's a hell of a talent, and it seemed like he was taking strides this year as far as being a overall better person, meditating more, but he still has his ways. And I can't really answer that because who's to say if they do trade Jordan Love, that would make Aaron Rodgers happy? I can't really say, but Aaron Rodgers won the MVP this year, but Aaron Rodgers is getting older. Who's to say that, all right, you stick with Aaron Rodgers for, I still think he got a good 2 or 3 years left, right? Probably 3 years max. Good 2 years of playing MVP caliber football. Is that 2 years enough that you will want to trade away your
but you were a game away from the NFC. You were a game away from the Super Bowl last year, bro. If you're the Packers, why aren't you doing whatever you can to make your star quarterback happy? I don't care that you may be right. He's annoying to work with. I totally understand, but at the same time, he's your quarterback, and 31 other teams in the league would want him. And this is the problem. When Aaron Rodgers gets upset by the Packers, like, I understand he's very annoying and he could be a tough guy to work with, but at the same time, it's not like they've done nothing for him. This team is really good. They were the #1 seed in the NFC last year, and they were a couple plays away from going to the Super Bowl. But at the same time, for the past 10 years, it's moves and just not acting like a big market team like this that really makes me question if they're fully dedicated to winning or not. And if I got to be honest, Lil, if I know Kenny C's not here with us, but the Packers are a team that should be in that Super Bowl conversation every year, and unfortunately, their management doesn't act like it. And if I was a Packer fan, I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers does have a problem, but I just don't think that there's a better situation for Aaron Rodgers other than staying with the Green Bay Packers. It's one thing to have a feeling towards somebody or organization, but there's another thing to say, I don't have no other ways to go. I have to stay here. And I do believe that Aaron Rodgers, if he gets traded to Denver, he gets his wish, and that's a hell of a good place for him to go to. That's already a team with good wide receivers and a good defense. But if you're the Packers, you did make it to the NFC Championship game, and I really feel like the Packers is trying to play 2 games. They're trying to win now, but they also or trying to develop the future and prepare.
Right, which is why if Jordan Love can get on the field, why don't you just admit to yourself, okay, we screwed up drafting this guy. While his value's still there, why not see what we could get for him? Because guess what?
What's to say he got value now? Because we haven't seen it.
Wait, hold on. Okay, fine. So let's say if you're the Packers, you get rid of Aaron Rodgers and you play Jordan Love. What happens if he sucks? Like, he probably will because he can't get on the field. Then his value goes down the drain. And that is how, if you're Brian Gutekunst, the Packers GM, you get fired, which you cannot do. Which is why if I'm the Packers and their front management and their front office, I'm waving the white flag. As annoying as much as you hate Aaron Rodgers, as annoying as he may be, just say, look, we screwed up. We're sorry. We're fully committed to winning a Super Bowl. It's not that hard. And if I was a Packer fan, I really wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't.
Yeah, they put themselves in this situation. In regards to Aaron Rodgers, and I'll just say this because I don't want to lag too long. I'll just say this. One thing about Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, and this goes to Russell Wilson, this goes to Deshaun Watson, there is something called sacrifice to help your team win. And I think Tom Brady has mastered that art, and that's one of the key factors on Tom Brady and why he wins championships. I don't think, and I'm a Tom Brady fan. You see Tom Brady on my wall. He's a talented guy. No, don't get me wrong. But I don't even think Tom Brady is this inferior talent where that's why he wins championship. It's not because of that. It's because of the sacrifice and the leadership. Those qualities alone is why Tom Brady continues to win championships each year and taking pay cuts so he can have a great team. What Aaron Rodgers wants, what Russell Wilson wants, what Deshaun Watson wants, they wasn't thinking about that when they signed those extensions. So I'm not going to feel sorry for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to feel sorry for Deshaun Watson, even though and this is a left turn because I know I've been in favor of Deshaun Watson because the Texans is a terrible organization. But I'm not going to feel sorry for these guys, Russell Wilson included, because they signed extensions. So they didn't think about all that. They took the money, and now they got to live with it, and they got to wait till they become a free agent. Aaron Rodgers is not becoming a free agent anytime soon. So it's either his career is going to end in general, and he's going to go to jeopardy, or the Pack is going to be in jeopardy having to trade him.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point you bring up. And at the same time, it's one of those things where it just really makes me realize, like, Tom Brady is just he's an outlier. There aren't many guys built like him because as great as, how many years have we been saying, Tom Brady takes a pay cut, which allows the team to build around him. These star quarterbacks just aren't built like that today in 2021. So I'm very curious.
And think about it. New England is as cheap, if not cheaper. Obviously, this year, New England went on a huge spending spree. So they put that cheap notion to bed. But before this year, the Patriots were the cheap of the cheaps. And Tom Brady noticed that. So he took a pay cut within a cheap organization. The Packers don't spend big money. They don't get marquee free agents over there. And so if you're Aaron Rodgers, maybe taking a pay cut. Maybe restructuring that contract to get other guys around you to surround you with talent so you cannot be just one step away from a championship, but you can actually play in it and win it.
Absolutely, man. So this whole Aaron Rodgers situation, it's going to be, very interesting to see how it goes down. But that's the question, man. I think that's the question we're going to have to wait on. Is there any way the Packers could fix this, or is Aaron Rodgers really telling the truth when he says, when those reports are coming out, either trade the GM or either fire the GM or trade me because whatever, I'm not playing for you guys anymore. But we'll see how it ends up going down.
Pay it back.